Let's start chapter 2, using pronouns, part B. So let's start with this one. Before, in the first lesson, we learned that is a something, right? That is a something. This is a something. Now we're going to do the negative form. Okay, so let's go through a few examples. This is not a board. This is not a board. See, it's the same as above, but we're using the not in between. This is not a board. Next one. This is not a book. This is not a book. This is not a clock. This is not a clock. This is not a computer. This is not a computer. This is not a desk. This is not a desk. This is not a dictionary. This is not a dictionary. So I have a couple pictures for reference here. Where did my picture go? So let's do this. This is a picture for this, okay? So you see, we're going to use this for touching. It's touching. So let's go to the first one. So you're going to try it by yourself. First one. I'll give you an example. This is not a board. We're going to put the this. I like using pictures. So we're going to use this. And then we're going to use the not. Okay. Put it in between. Okay. So let's do it together. First one. This is not a board. This is not a board. This is not a clock. This is not a clock. This is not a computer. This is not a computer. This is not a desk. This is not a desk. Very good. Let's try one more. This is not a notebook. This is not a notebook. Now we're going to try the next one. The next one is that is not. So let's try these. First one. That is not a ruler. That is not a ruler. Next one. That is not a pen. That is not a pen. Next one. That is not a pencil. That is not a pencil. That is not a table. That is not a table. That is not a wall. That is not a wall. Okay, guys, so let's try with the pictures. So this one is touching. So I don't want to use this one. I'm going to use the non-touching because it's a little bit further. We're going to use that. Okay, so we're going to put it on the side. We're going to put it over. And let's try these, okay? That is not a wall. That is not a wall. That is not a ruler. That is not a ruler. That is not a desk. That is not a desk. That is not a board. That is not a board. Let's try one more. That is not a desk. That is not a desk. If I would use this one, what would it be? This is not a desk. Very good. How about this one? This is not A board. Very good, guys. Very good. Very good. Now, let's look at names when you use names. You see, before, when you have an object, it says a something. A something. But when you have a name, you don't have a. Okay, so let's go through this. This is Robert. This is Robert. This is Pamela. This is Pamela. This is Joelle. This is Joelle. This is Helen. This is Helen. This is Mayumi. This is Mayumi. Now let's do the not form. I like keeping order, so let's keep the not over here. This is not Robert. This is not Robert. Next one. This is not Pamela. This is not Pamela. As you can see, there is no okay? Next one. This is not Joelle. This is not Joelle. Next one. This is not Helen. This is not Helen. This is not Mayumi. This is not Mayumi. Okay, guys, very good, very good, very good. Okay, guys, we're going to go through a couple questions right now, and I want you to figure out on yourself. I want you to pause the video and try to figure out these by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance. Pause the video now, and after you finish, unpause it, and I'll give you the answers. Okay, good luck. Okay, I hope you guys paused it and tried it by yourself. Let's do it by yourself. Let's do it together, sorry. First one, okay, this pencil, this is a pencil. A pen, sorry. This is a pen, okay? Next one, this is Pamela. This is Pamela. Next one, this is a board. This is a board. Next, this is Helen. This is Helen. Next one, this is not Mayumi. This is not Mayumi. And the last one, that is not a ruler. That is not a ruler. Okay, guys, if you got it, congratulations. If not, just review the lesson and do it again. Okay, guys, I'll see you in chapter 3. Have a great day and good luck.